There are a few restricted Pokemon that has potential, but we don't commonly see in Regulation G, and one of them is Rayquaza, that was actually able to make it into the top 128 of the Global Challenge and qualify to play for Japan Nats. We're going to be trying out the team and seeing how well it can perform. This is one crazy GC team. Let's break it down. First is the Focus Sash Rayquaza with the Airlock ability, which is very helpful against weather, and the Focus Sash to allow the Rayquaza to be able to take attacks because it is a 4 times weak to ice, and even though it has some decent defenses, it's not exactly the bulkiest Pokemon in the restricted format. We have the Stellar Terra to boost up any power of the attacks that it has, and it does have some pretty strong ones. The Giant Ascent, of course, a really strong flying close combat that can do a lot of damage into common Pokemon because there are a lot of flying weaknesses like the Urshifu, like the Amoonguss, Rillaboom, and more. The Draco Meteor, because this is a mix set on the Rayquaza, allows you to have some pretty strong tools for both the physical side and the special side and allow it to get some really strong damage even if the Rayquaza has been intimidated. Extreme Speed, of course, for the priority, it's very helpful and can clean up weakened foes and then protect to keep itself around. And this Rayquaza is a lonely nature because you don't want to have a minus special attack nature or a minus attack nature because you're utilizing both of the attack stats. So running the lonely nature because Rayquaza is technically resistant to surging strikes, so it's not taking it too badly, as well as stuff like the sucker punches. It can play around utilizing the extreme speed. Next Pokemon we have is going to be the Murkrow with the Prankster and the Eviolite and the Terra Ghost defensive typing to avoid the fake outs and extreme speeds. The Murkrow Eviolite is an interesting Pokemon, but it does help out because one of the most common Pokemon that are used in the GC, Dondozo. And what better way to shut down Commander Tatsugiri and Dondozo than with Haze on the Murkrow with Prankster. You also have Tailwind, which is pretty nice, and some pretty interesting text. A Brave Bird for extra flying coverage, which can be really strong, alongside the Quash, which is a really big one because Quash allows you to have some speed control that can affect your opponent because Prankster Quash makes your opponent move your last or whatever the target is, and then you can follow up with some really strong attacks such as the Rayquaza attack, the Ting-Lu Choice Band move, and the Urshifu, of course. So Quash can actually come in pretty handy because it works both in Trick Room and Tailwind and just in general. So no matter what form of speed control that your opponent has, you can make them move last and it can be a pretty big deal. Haze is also just a really good move on Murkrow. Not only does it help out against Dondozo, but it also helps out because of Intimidate that is running around with Incineroar, so you can be able to get rid of the Intimidate drops onto your partner utilizing that Haze. And with the Rayquaza, it's going for Dragon Ascent and Draco Meteor, moves that lower its stats, so you're able to reset them with Haze. It can be very effective. The Murkrow EV spread is just supposed to be defensive on the Murkrow and really just be able to take the surging strikes and physical attacks well because you do have the Ting-Lu Vessel Ruin that can help Murkrow allow it to take the special attacks better. Next Pokemon we have is going to be the Choice Band Ting-Lu, and with the Vessel Ruin and the Choice Band, able to go for some really strong attacks with that Terra Poison as a defensive typing, which is great into the super effective Flying type moves and the super effective Fairy type coverage. And what's also really cool about this Choice Band Ting-Lu with Terra Poison is you have Terra Blast on the Ting-Lu, and the idea is Miraidon, because Ting-Lu is supposed to help out against Miraidon, of course, the Vessel Ruin, lowering the special attack of all Pokemon on the field, which is very helpful. And the Terra Blast, Terra Poison can really punish the Miraidon and one-shot it through its Terra Fairy. So can be very nice for the Miraidon matchup, but also ground coverage is just really good in the format. It's really strong because you're able to go for some pretty powerful attacks with the Earthquake and the Stomping Tantrum and punish Pokemon like Incineroar and more. Overall, Ting-Lu is able to threaten a lot of damage, especially into the Miraidon. That Terra Poison, Terra Blast can really help out into even Terra Fairy mons, which is helpful because a lot of Pokemon do run Terra Fairy like that Miraidon, sometimes Raging Bolt and more. So having a way to hit those Pokemon, able to help out against Rila and other Terra Grasses, that can be nice. And otherwise, just really strong coverage with its ground type attacks and the Lash Out to hit the Calyx Shadow Rider. While if Ting-Lu has taken a drop in the in that turn, like from Intimidate from Incineroar, the Lash Out double base power can be very helpful for doing a lot of damage. The Ting-Lu on this team is also not exactly bulky. It is more so fast with 196 speed that allows the Ting-Lu to be able to outspeed most Pokemon such as like a Tornadus under the Tailwind, and can be pretty nice otherwise. The adamant nature going near max attack for as much damage as possible with that choice band, and just dumping the remaining into HP. Next Pokemon we have is going to be the Volcarona with that flame body and the rocky helmet. And Volcarona, very nice to help out in the Cali Ice matchup because you don't really have a resistance to Cali Ice, and Volcarona can be very helpful because it can go for a fast Willis into the Cali Ice as well as the Zamazenta matchup. It's a great Pokemon into both of those restricteds, which it can be pretty hard to damage utilizing the Rayquaza. So having a Pokemon that can fare into both is very nice. The Will-O-Wisp support can be very helpful to shut down those Pokemon from doing as much damage. You had the Rage Powder for the redirection to protect your partners, and Flamethrower as a fire type move, accurate, guaranteed to hit the Pokemon like the Mungus, Zamazenta, Xianpao, plays around Wide Guard. So very nice to have a consistent fire type move. Terra Water is going to be your defensive typing because it can help out, still resisting the ice type attacks, and of course being able to resist the surging strikes from the Urshifu. Next Pokemon we have is the Wellspring Ogerpon, and this is a Pokemon that's very nice to help out against the Urshifu Rapid Strike, especially in a matchup such as the Urshifu Rapid Strike plus Calyx Ice Rider. You have that Spring Mass to turn it into a water type Pokemon, and of course the Water Absorb, which can allow it to absorb certain strikes for the Ting-Lu and the Volcarona, which don't appreciate it. The Ivy Cudgel and Woodhammer are able to do some pretty consistent damage, especially to Terra Waters, which the team can struggle to hit otherwise. And the Follow Me redirection, having 2 redirect mods is really nice because you're trying to break through, usually utilizing the Rayquaza for some really strong damage output, or the Choice Band Ting-Lu. And yeah, Ogerpon, this spread basically is just able to be fast because you want to still outspeed Pokemon like the Chi, for instance. So that's what this Ogerpon is able to do, and it's just threatening quite a bit while still having a good amount of bulk in general. The Volcarona Eevee spread, this one is near max defense and it's just really supposed to be able to tank the Glacial Lances, the body presses, and it's really important to be able to tank those attacks because again, it is your main pivot mon against those teams. So very important to be able to take the hits well and stick around on the field so your rest of the team isn't taking Glacial Lances or body presses. Final Pokemon we have is going to be the Urshifu Rapid Strike, probably the most common Pokemon arguably on this team, but running a bit of a different set, using the Covert Cloak as an item because you have the Focus Sash take on the Rayquaza. You want to catch them by surprise. Fake Out is pretty common in the global challenge, especially the Terapagos teams out there. So why not have Covert Cloak? Because you'll be immune to those Fake Out strikes, and then you can go for some really punishing moves such as the Surging Strikes or Close Combat anyway. You just are able to threaten quite a bit. Overall, you do want a bit of bulk on the Urshifu because you are not running max speed on the Urshifu because of the Focus Sash taken on Ray. So you want to be able to take one attack. Terra Grass is able to help out against, again, Rillaboom, Grassy Glide, Thunderclap from the Raging Bolt, and of course can play around the Rage Powder redirection from Pokemon such as a Mungus, which can be very nice, as well as the Spore Immunity, which is very, very pleasant. Overall, just dishing out a good amount of damage can help out against Xianpao, which can be very threatening to the Rayquaza and the Ting-Lu. And of course, it's just a great Pokemon that can just punish with the Unseen Fist ability. Overall, with this team, you want to set up with Tailwind, with the Murkrow, and you want to go for a lot of damage. Rayquaza and Ting-Lu are going to be your main damage dealers to do as much damage as possible, utilizing that Choice Band Ting-Lu as well as the Stellar Terra on the Rayquaza. You want to support these Pokemon with redirection, usually going to be your Volcarona and your Ogerpon, and they're going to be able to sponge up the attacks, allowing these Pokemon to really dish out the damage. Murkrow going to be that speed control method that allows Rayquaza and the Ting-Lu to outspeed Pokemon that they normally wouldn't be able to, with the Quash, the Tailwind, and Haze get rid of any boosts, especially from Nendozo, but also like Intimidates and the own stat drops from Rayquaza. And Urshifu, I think there's not much to say about Urshifu. It's just a great mon, especially under Tailwind, with the ability to outspeed Pokemon and just threaten a lot of damage through to protect with the Unseen Fist ability. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. Sneasler, Miraidon, Fluttermane, Farigiraf with Ursaluna, Blood Moon, and Whimsicott. Okay. Definitely one heck of a team. I'm alright with this. I think I'm just leading to Tinglu. Tinglu's really good here. I think Tinglu Volcarona is really ideal. I think I always bring the Ray for the Focus Sash. Am I bringing Murkrow? I don't need Murkrow, right? I probably just want to either Ursh or Wellspring. Most likely Wellspring, because Wellspring helps beat the... Well, I don't think it beats the... What's it called? The Ursaluna Blood Moon, but it helps, as well as Redirection. Again, having multiple Redirection mons for Miraidon isn't too bad. I always go with the Tinglu, because Tinglu is really good against their team. I don't know. Let's see how this... how they're going to try to approach it. Miraidon Sneasler, sure. Versus Volk and Tinglu. All right. So electric terrain is up. Cool. I think I just go for... I think I Terra Poison because this is Terra Fairy, right? On Miraidon usually. And they might go for Gleam and I cannot risk that. I think I'm just going to Terra Poison, Terra Blast Miraidon, and I'm going to go for Wisp. Into the Sneasler. Yeah. Alright, they do Terra. I imagine this is the Miraidon. I think we're getting faked out anyway by the Sneasler realistically, but I don't think that's too bad of a trade-off. Yep, Terra Fairy. Perfect. Although, I don't know why you would Terra Fairy if you go for fake out here, realistically. So, maybe they went on the offense and got too heavily punished here. We'll see. I think Volcarona lives any attack thanks to the Vessel Ruin, if I'm not mistaken, because Volk has really good Spadef, plus the Vessel Ruin reducing the damage output of the Miraidon is nice. Oh, we'll see. Terra Poison on the Tinglu. Yeah, they just fake out. I don't get why they Terra Fairyed the Miraidon, but okay. They do lock in a Gleam, so that's fine. Yeah, I take it pretty well. Wow, that was a crit. I thought that was just normal damage. Okay, Wisp off into the Sneasler. Nice. Not bad, not bad. That should be Choice Specs damage, so I should be in a pretty good position. I can just go for a double up now into the Miraidon of Flamethrower plus the Terra Blast, and I don't see how I get punished here. Miraidon should always be retreating. And as long as I have Redirection next to my Tinglu, it's like really hard for them to break through the Tinglu. Yep, Miraidon gonna retreat. Whatever's coming is taking a Flamethrower plus this Terra Blast. Whimsicott's going down to... Well, I don't think it's going down to Flamethrower, which stinks because I get extra damage on Sneasler, but sure. All right, they go for Acid Spray, which doesn't really change much. Flamethrower. Whimsicott goes down, so that's one Mon gone. Nice. Surprised they Acid Spray to Volcarona, actually, instead of Acid Spraying the Tinglu. Because I feel like the Tinglu is the bigger threat, but sure. Whimsicott goes down. I mean, this works out for me. I'll definitely take it. What is your next Pokemon? Ursaluna. Yeah, that's what I expected. I want to go out into... probably Ray if they're going to Earth Power, but they're probably just going to Hyper Voice, and I'm going to Flamethrower to Ursaluna. Or should I just Rage Power? Nah, it's probably Hyper Voice coming out. I just need damage into the Ursaluna to put in range of a Ray attack, and I should be in a good spot. Alright, Airlock. A Dire Claw, which makes sense. That's unfortunate because I would have really loved that Flamethrower damage. Actually, that's really bad because I didn't get that Flamethrower damage. Oh, they are powered. Okay, that's really good, assuming I get the Flamethrower off. Nice. Okay, that's really good. That's really good. I don't know if Dragon Sent KOs Ursaluna. That's the problem. I feel like it should. Draco definitely KOs, although it's risky. And they also... I guess I should always Dragon Sent anyway because it covers the Miraidon switch if they randomly switch out Ursaluna and Miraidon. Okay, it could get dicey here because I get paralyzed. Well, I didn't get Dire Claw the second time, thank goodness. Okay, here comes Dragon Ascent. Goodbye, Ursaluna. All right, beautiful. All right, Ursaluna goes down, and I think I have the game locked, if I'm not mistaken. So Miraidon has to lock into attack here, and it just can't lock into Dazzling Gleam, because if it ever locks into Dazzling Gleam, it just always loses to Ting-Lu. So this is probably an Electric type move that they locked themselves into, probably targeting down the Ray. So I'm going to protect, and I'm going to go for a flamethrower attempt into the Sneasler. I guess it doesn't really matter. I could have maybe... Well, Extreme Speed doesn't knock out. I think I'm still okay. They go for Acid Spray into the Volk. Doesn't KO. Wait, they actually did lock into Gleam. Okay. Which I am perfectly fine with. Alright, Volcarona goes down. I'm pretty sure I always just beat the Sneasler in a 1v1 with Ting-Lu. If I'm not mistaken. Well, there is Dire Claw. There is Dire Claw. I think I always go Wellspring here first. And I Spiky Shield, sack my Rayquaza here. Because you know what? I will make sure that E-Speed puts this in Ting-Lu Terra Blast range guaranteed. And then I click follow me. Actually, do I even? No, I always follow me because I don't want the Acid Spray, right? Okay. Does it protect? Extreme Speed chip the Miraidon. Dire Claw comes out. Ooh, that's actually nice because they take extra damage with the Spiky Shield. Okay. Nice. Dazzling Gleam. Gonna knock out the Ray. Actually, the damage I just realized is super underwhelming, right? The damage is super underwhelming from the Miraidon anyway, because there's no Electric Terrain. I forgot Electric Terrain expired, but I still think I just guaranteed a win here by going Ting-Lu. I click Terra Blast and I click follow me. Do I think there's a world? Well, actually, no, I should always Terra Blast anyway. In case of sleep here from Dire Claw into the Ting-Lu. Which they are going to go for the Dire Claw. Can I survive a Gleam? Probably not. With Wellspring at least. Oh, I actually do. Okay, yeah, no, that seals it. Okay, I get a Terra Blast off. I get the KO into Miraidon and seal the game. So Terra Poison, Terra Blast does really help out with the Miraidon teams. I think it generally one-shots, but I wasn't risking this being a bulky Miraidon because we saw Farig and Whimsicott, and I wouldn't be surprised if this actually has a bulky variant and plays mind games with the different forms of speed control because it's a bit more of an irregular team. And now I just win by clicking Terra Blast. I go for Ivy Cudgel. And yeah, Sneasler cannot beat Ting-Lu by itself. They go for close combat, but as you can see, it just does no damage. Like, well, they can't poison me because Dire Claw can't poison a poison type because of the Terra. Like, what could they have done? Sleep? But even if they slept, they just took so many turns, and I at least get one Terra Blast off right into Sneasler, which should KO it after all the ticks of burn damage it would receive. Maybe Paralysis into Paralysis Sentry, where I just am not able to move at all. Maybe, but that's not existing here in today's world. All right, we have Terapagos, Incineroar, Rillaboom, Screamtail, Ogerpon, Cornerstone, and Heatran. This is the team that won a VR online tournament recently. So how do I want to perform against this team? I do really like the Ting-Lu. They don't have really good answers into Ting-Lu. Choice Banded Ting-Lu goes absolutely insane against their team. So I do want to bring the Ting-Lu. They do have the Rilla, which kind of stinks for me, but Ting-Lu is pretty nice here. So I want to go with Ting-Lu. Do I want... I'm trying to think of what else I want. I probably... Do I want to bring Volcarona? Probably, right? I think Volcarona is pretty strong here. I I do want Rayquaza quite a lot. Rayquaza is really strong against the team. I think I want to lead just Ting-Lu. Ting-Lu is pretty strong. Do I want Volcarona or do I want the Murkrow? Because Murkrow does have Haze, which can be very nice against Pagos. This is tough because I do want to bring Ting-Lu. I think Ting-Lu Ray is a pretty good lead. I want the Urshifu to back. Need a Murkrow or Volcarona? I'm kind of leaning towards Murkrow. I'm leaning towards Murkrow because I like the idea of having Tailwind against this team, because being able to outspeed the Scream Tail is actually a pretty big deal. Also can allow Ting-Lu to maybe be in a more favorable position offensively. Let's see. Do I want to go for Terra Poison, Terra Blast if it's like a real lead? Probably not. We're going to see Incineroar Scream Tail lead. Okay. Versus Rayquaza and Ting-Lu. Sure. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see. Airlock. Vessel Ruin. I think my... Okay. Who would I think they have in the back? Pagos has to be one of them, I'd assume. And last Pokemon. Do I think it's Ursh? I don't know if it's Ursh. Could be Ursh. But I don't know. I could see it being Cornerstone. I think I'm going to risk it being Rila. I'm going to go for an Earthquake immediately, and I'm just going to swap out into Murkrow. Yeah, I have a feeling I'm probably switching out Ting-Lu in a few turns anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. The Scream Tail can't really do too much. The Incineroar can fake out, but I do have Haze at least on the Murkrow that can put on some nice pressure. First, the Scream Tail Protect, which makes sense. And I'm able to get a Choice Banded Earthquake off into the Incineroar. So some pretty good damage in Incineroar. And yes, that's a pretty okay start. Although I do have a lot of things that do threaten Incineroar. I think this is all right. Parting shot into Murkrow. Excellent, excellent. Because Murkrow's attack does not matter in this game. All right. So we got a lot of damage into Incineroar. The Scream Tail's Protect has been used up. What are you bringing out next? Pagos? Or are you going to reveal your final? If it's Rila, you would probably go out in a Rila, I would say. Yeah, it's Rila. Okay. Although I am okay with not being locked into Stomping, because I think that this is a pretty safe... I wouldn't say safe, but I do kind of like Rayquaza here. And Tailwind. Yeah, I like the Tailwind play here. Let's see if I remember right. The Screen Tail runs Dazzling Gleam, but it could be play rough changed, I suppose. Although I'm not really too worried about Rayquaza taking a lot of damage. Of the Airlock. Let's see if there's a fake out involved. Nope, no fake out. Maybe U-turn or a Woodhammer. Tailwind going to come out from the Murkrow. Going to see the Encore come out from the Scream Tail, which is completely fine. I do not mind that trade at all. And we're going to see U-turn. Okay. So they're playing this smart so far. I am locked into Encore with Tailwind with the Encore, but I think that's all right. I don't mind having that Tailwind set up. We're going to see the Incineroar come in, which granted, like, this is a pretty safe swap to Ting-Lu. Yeah, this is a pretty safe swap to Ting-Lu. So I kind of like the idea of just going out into Ting-Lu for the Rayquaza, and I actually kind of like going into Ursh here for the Murkrow, because I want to start pressuring the Scream Tail, because the Scream Tail is just annoying. The fake out pivots is really frustrating to deal with. So I think what I'm going to do is just go aggressively against the Scream Tail with attacks, because I like the idea of just spamming Throat Chop now against their team with Surging Strikes. The idea is to get rid of Scream Tail quickly so I can set up an end game with just offense against the Pagos before I can set up. Although if it sets up, we have Haze, so it's not that big of a deal, I suppose. Ting-Lu going to come back in. And I would like to reset the Murkrow, because Murkrow still has a lot of value towards the later parts in the game. Brave Bird actually will do a good amount of damage. But gotta get rid of this instant first if possible. Fake Out going to come out into what was Rayquaza, and then Dazzling Gleam, which is fine. This does like nothing with the Vessel Runia. Okay, nice. I'm going to go for a Lash Out. I kind of want to double up the Scream Tail. I don't know if Scream Tail protects or not, but I think I'm just going to lash out the Scream Tail and go for Surging Strikes. Incineroar's going to retreat probably into Reel, I'd assume. I don't know if the Scream Tail protects or not, but that's fine if it does. Nice. So I get a lot of damage in the Scream Tail here, so that's pretty ideal. We have the Covert Cloak, which is super nice as well. Prevents us from getting faked out. All right. Pretty good damage in the Scream Tail too. I wonder if Lash Out would KO. Gleam again. Perfectly fine. Yeah, just like nothing. And here's a Lash Out into the Scream Tail. Pretty good damage. Not enough, but pretty good. All right. That Scream Tail's looking like it's going to be in Aqua Jet range soon. I think my play is... what do I want to do here? I do have a lot of good offense against them if I want to. I could Terra here if I want to with my Ursh, but I probably want to save the Terra and go for the Stellar with my Rayquaza. I think my play is probably just to always go into Murkrow here and click Protect with my Ursh. This is probably like Gleam plus Grassy Glide, I would say. Maybe they fake out, which is fine. Murkrow in gives Brave Bird pressure into the Rila, which is actually kind of nice. They go for the fake out. They target down the Murkrow, so be it. It's a Gleam, sure. All right. All right, Murkrow's taking some health, but I think that this is pretty acceptable. Also, Grassy Terrain ends soon. Or, yeah, it does end this turn. I was like, does it end this turn or next turn? It does end this turn. Okay, perfect. So my Tailwind expired. I can go for Tailwind again. I could also just Brave Bird Close Combat the Rila because I probably knock it out. And I can, yeah, you know what? I like Brave Bird Close Combat into Rila. If we get the KO, that'd be big because I don't think Gleam KOs. Yeah, either of my Pokemon. Exactly. So I'm able to get a Close Combat off into the Rila. And then Brave Bird, I think Murkrow should outspeed this Rila easily. And then just Brave Bird KO it. Yep, exactly. Okay, nice. The Scream Tail is also in range of Extreme Speed from my Rayquaza. So that is pretty nice here. Looking pretty good here. Although we have lost our Murkrow, which means I can't Haze. I think this is still a pretty good trade. Because here comes my Rayquaza. We have Extreme Speed Pressure. And Pagos comes in. Yep, that's fine. So this is probably Starstorm, and I don't know what the Scream Tail does. It could switch to Instant, which is fine. I'm just going to Extreme Speed and go out into Tinglu, because Tinglu will weaken the power of the Starstorm, and it looks like no switch, so unless they protect it, this is a really good trade-off, I think. Because then I just draw off attacks for the most part for the rest of the game, and I think that's allows me to win here. Extreme Speed KOs the Scream Tail, awesome. And it looks like they did not Terra. So I wonder if this is Calm Mind or if this is Starstorm. Calm Mind, perfect. Okay. Which I am perfectly happy with because I will be setting up for my end game with my Ursh. So Incineroar is going to come in. It can only fake out one's target. I think Draco Meteor should KO the Incin. I think. So we're going to go for Draco Meteor into the Incin, and we're going to go for a Earthquake. Just want to make sure I locked it in correctly. Yeah, Draco Meteor, Earthquake. Take out an Tinglu makes sense. Actually, maybe I should have got damage into Pagos more because this is under Vessel Ruin. We might not KO. Yeah, I was a bit worried about that. Okay. Although they Calm Mind again, which is cool. All right. I don't think you're knocking out Tinglu in one hit. I really don't think you are. Interesting. I think I just extreme speed the Incin and I stomping tantrum the Pagos. Because Pagos is always going to Terra, and I'm pretty sure as long as I get damage into Pagos, I set up for the Ursh close combat sweep. The Pagos is going to Terra. I guess it depends on how fast this Pago is, huh? Maybe it's fast. If it's fast, it's bad. But I've been playing this towards an Ursh outspeeding the Pagos. Ooh, wait. The helmet damage might matter here. I should have Dracoed for the KO, but I want extreme speed to guarantee the accuracy. Oh boy, do I go down to this Terra Starstorm? Oh, I don't. Rayquaza clutch. Okay, perfect. I get Stomping Tantrum off into the Pagos for some really good damage. Beautiful. I want to say Ursh is faster. I really want to say Ursh is faster. Well, there's not really much we can do. I'm just going to protect and go for stomping because it doesn't really change much. Maybe they protect to get leftovers recovery, actually. But I really don't think they should. I think they should always just... Oh, they do. Okay. Because if I swapped out my Rayquaza into Ursh, I could have maybe got a close combat. But then again, me switching into Ursh and risking is insane unless I know that my Rayquaza can guarantee the Oko on the Pagos. And I just don't think that's a risk I would be willing to take. I just don't think that would be. So we're going to go for Stellar Terra because our Terra Grass doesn't change anything. Our Terra Poison doesn't change anything. We're going to go for Stomping plus the Dragon's Descent. We're -1. It should still do some pretty decent damage. And that should ensure the Pagos goes down to close combat. So it's just going to come down to if the Pagos on their team is timid max speed. Because that literally is what it comes down to. So Dragon Ascent. Ooh, wait. If I switched out, did I KO? I don't know. I actually have no clue. It looks really close, but they would have got leftovers recovery. They go for Substitute. They went for Substitute. Although I think Substitute was worse for them, actually, because I would have been able to break the sub, and then they were in Aqua Jet range. So I guess that means it's confirmed to be slow Pagos, which I feel like it does make sense. Like, I didn't think this would be timid Pagos, but yeah, now it's guaranteed win here. I Dragon Ascent, I Stomping Tantrum. Good game. Maybe I should just keep switching to Ursh, man. Maybe I should just switch to Ursh. Should I switch to Ursh in case they... No, it's just so silly to switch into Ursh. It's so silly to switch into Ursh. I just want to, though. You know what? I will. I easily KO the Pagos at this range. If they go for the double... I might as well just switch to Ursh so I can Aqua Jet safely plus Dragon's Descent. Although I really think I can close combat because it looks like it's a slow Pagos. Yeah, they went for a double protect. They fail it, so I'm able to go for the Dragon's Descent. Okay. What a funny game. What a funny game. All right, goodbye, Pagos. All right, nice. I had a feeling it was probably slow Pagos. Like on these teams, bulky Pagos just makes so much more sense than the timid one, I think. And was in a pretty good position where I was just able to throw off attacks. Like Screamtail, the problem is it did do actually quite a bit. Like the Dazzling Gleam damage was building up over time because I brought like so many Fairy Weeks. At the same time, their support mons just took so much damage. The Pagos came in late, and by the time Pagos came in, it's like, okay. But Ting Lu was still around, so even their boosted Starstorms were not getting the KOs that it needed to. Calyrex, Shadow Rider, Incineroar, Rillaboom, Urshifu, Pelipper, and Amoonguss. Okay, pretty standard team. Rain's a little bit annoying. We do have Wellspring, Ogerpon, plus Rayquaza, though. But Tinglu is super important to the Calyrex, and that's going to be something I really need. Murkrow plus Ray. How good is it? It's not bad. I might bring Ursh is the question. I feel like I would bring Wellspring Ogerpon over Ursh just because of how good Wellspring is against this team. I think I would just want to go with... Rayquaza, Murkrow. I think it's Wellspring, Ogerpon, and Tinglu, because I feel like Rillaboom leads here in this matchup, just as the fake out Mon. And Rilla is the most annoying Pokemon, I think, to deal with. I guess there's also Tinglu, which is actually kind of annoying as well. Or not Tinglu, Pelipper, that's annoying as well. I need to get rid of Pelipper, and I need to get rid of Rilla. If I can get rid of those two Pokemon, I think it's a lot easier for my other Pokemon to sweep. Murkrow's Brave Bird's going to be helpful with that. And we're going to see Calyx, Shadow Rider, and Pelipper. Interesting. Okay. Astral Barrage doesn't KO unless this is some offensive Calyrex, which... Are you going to be offensive Calyrex? I guess the Pelipper can't do much here. I'm kind of curious on what they go for. I don't think you ever Nasty Plot in this scenario. I think I'm just going to protect Rayquaza to Scout, and I'm just going to Brave Bird the Pelipper. If they go Incin, which is fine, that's not that big of a deal. We see a Terra, which makes sense. I think they're scared of like random dark moves. Yep, Alex Terras. Goes for the Terra normal, sure. I feel like they wouldn't... Would they have Incin against me? I don't think so. I'm kind of curious if I can Oko the Calyx with a Dragon's Descent with Stellar Terra. And I feel like that's probably an option I will consider. We're going to see Astral Barrage. Makes sense. I want to see an item if possible. Like if it's a Life Orb, but I kind of doubt it. Could do a decent amount. Raper going to come out. That's a slow Pelipper. Alright. Rocky Helmet. Sure. I hope this isn't a KO into the Murkrow. Weather Ball into... Rayquaza, sure. Weather Ball just doesn't do any damage, man. I'm gonna go for my Stellar Terra into the Calyx, and I'm just gonna Tailwind. Don't tell me this is Incin. I feel like it shouldn't be Incin, but we'll see. Oh, they had Incin. Why did they just do it the first time? Okay. I don't think this is that bad. Well, it's not great. I'm about to go down to Focus Sash with my Ray, which means I have to be very careful about my Pelipper matchup. Although I don't think this is that bad, realistically. But Tinglu, you're going to have to put in a lot of work. Oh, they protect. Okay. No, that's all right. That's all right. Tailwind comes out. As Dragon Descent fails. Well, we take that. We definitely take that. Okay. So I go for Protect with my Ray, and I'm going to switch out into Tinglu. Because I would like Tailwind for the later parts of the game, because it can get scary otherwise. I think I Earthquake Draco Meteor the Incin switch. Yeah, I think I do that. Oh, Incin doubles out here, actually. Interesting. Into Pelipper? Smart. Although I don't hate this at all. I do not hate this at all. We are going to go for the Protect with our Ray. As Astro comes out? Yeah. Like, this does nothing to Tinglu, so I'm pretty happy about this. I can Draco Meteor to Pelipper now. Do I even have to respect the Pelipper, though? I feel like I don't. But I will Draco Meteor the Pelipper because I know I can pick up the knockout. And I'm going to Lash Out just in case they go out into Incin on the Pelipper slot. Okay, they double out the Calyx into Incin, I guess. And I could have went for Stomping, but that's fine. I realistically don't think this is too bad. Like, I haven't gotten the best momentum, but I should be getting the KO onto the Pelipper with this Dragon Descent. Goodbye, Pelipper. Beautiful. So we get a decent powerful Lash Out into Incin, which is like probably 25, 30%, which ain't bad. It's not amazing by any means, but it's not bad damage, yeah. So who's coming in? Is it Ursh? Ursh is coming out. Okay, makes sense. All right. I'm going Murkrow for my Rayquaza, and I'm switching out to Wellspring for the Tinglu. If we lose Murkrow, it's not ideal, but I have no idea what the Ursh is going to go for. I feel like it's U-turn if they have U-turn, which means I get to confirm a Scarf, or it's Surging Strikes, which is fine for me. So we bring out the Murkrow, which if Instant went for the Ray slot of like Wisp or Knockoff, we're good. Bring out the Wellspring, because Wellspring's in a pretty safe spot. They go for Fake Out. Perfect. Nice. Beautiful turn. Beautiful turn. Rain ends, right? Yeah. We might live an Aqua Jet depending on the item. I think this is a very safe Tailwind and an Ivy Cudgel into the instant slot. If they switch out, they take a lot of damage. They do go for the Aqua Jet. It doesn't KO the Murkrow as I suspected. Here comes a Tailwind. Excellent. And an Ivy Cudgel into the Incineroar, picks up that knockout. Great. Should be Psyshock on the Calyx, so I think all I need to do is KO the Ursh. A Calyx in. The problem is getting the free switch. That's my problem. I don't know how I'm getting the free switch. Saw it was Aqua Jet. There's no way Surging Strikes the Murkrow. You're probably going to leave the Murkrow alone realistically. I feel like Protect Astral makes a lot of sense here. I'm going to risk Ting Lu. I think I'm going to Ivy Cudgel the Calyrex. Actually, no, I would want to Wood Hammer the Calyrex. I want as much damage as possible because I think I could lock this game up with Extreme Speed Ray. And I feel like Ursh should protect. Maybe it goes for close combat, but I don't think you Aqua Jet here. I really don't think you should. Alex protects. I can see double protect too to stall out the Tailwind. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Super ideal. Super ideal. Because I went for the Wood Hammer. All right, I just got to put these Pokemon into extreme speed range. We're going to go for an Earthquake. Earthquake's crazy, but I'll go for it. And I'm just going to go for a Wood Hammer into... I guess I'll just target the Ursh. All right, here comes a Wood Hammer. Should bring into Focus Sash. Yep. And our Ting Lu under Tailwind outspeeds Ursh. So we're guaranteed with Ray to win the game. Because we have Focus Sash still available. There's an Astral Barrage, but it should not pick up a knockout. Yep. And here comes the Earthquake. I had a feeling that they could double protect on the last turn or protect and go, or they protect Ursh, go for Astral to get the boost with Calyrex. So Ursh goes down. Excellent. We go out into our Ray and we have the game sealed because we kept our Focus Sash still around. We can go for Dragon's Descent pretty easily, plus a Earthquake. There are so many ways to win too because I kept a Murkrow around if I want to. Like, this is the last turn of Tailwind. My safest play is technically just to go Murkrow and click Dragon's Descent, because even if we didn't have the Sash on Ray, we still had to win just because we still had Murkrow around, because we would just be able to Dragon's Descent, we outspeed KO. If they protect to sell out the Tailwind so they outspeed, I just swap into Murkrow, click Tailwind, Dragon's Descent again. Good game. And I still had my Stellar Terror boost because I never went for the attack into Calyx. So nice. All right, we have Zamazenta, Xianpao, Thunderous Incarnate, Volcarona, Latios, and Rila. Huh. These are not mons. Okay, so Latios, Rillaboom, Zamazenta, Xianpao. Normal. Thunderous is a bit strange, and then Volcarona also, but I guess it's for the mirror. Ting Lu's good. I think I probably Terra Ting Lu and go for the Terra Poison in this game because they really... Well, there is a Latios I have to fear, but Lash Out would actually do a lot to Latios, so they got to respect it. Volcarona is really tough for them, so they got to respect it. Yeah, I have a lot of good answers actually into this team. I think I go with like Murkrow plus... I think Ting Lu is fine. Yeah, if I'm going to go Murkrow, Ting Lu, and I'm going to have Volcarona and the Rayquaza in the back, because Rayquaza is good against the team with Dragon's Den. I do like this matchup. I do got to watch out a bit though, Volcarona could be scary if it gets set up. If it's set up on his team, Qianpao I do have to respect overall. Although I do have Volcarona, which will be nice for dealing with the Qianpao. Thundurus can do Thundurus things, especially if I Terra my Ting-Lu. That means it can go for Thunder Wave against me, so something I'm gonna have to watch out for. I have to respect high horsepower on the Rila. So there's quite a bit that could go wrong. There are aspects of this game I do like. I think I don't bring Ursh or Wellspring because the Thundurus is a bit annoying. As well as I think they do bring Rila. We're gonna see Thundurus and the Qianpao, okay, versus Murkrow and Ting-Lu. So ice and electric coverage could be coming out here, which is fine. I think my best play is just to go out in a Volcarona and go for... I want to Lash Out. Do I want Stomping Tantrum? I'm trying to think of what I want to get rid of first. The Thundurus or the Qianpao. I think I want to go for a Lash Out into the... I think I want to target the Qianpao first. Because the reason I want to target the Qianpao first is I want to break the Sash on Qianpao. It makes it easier for my end game later. So bring out the Volk. We are going to Terra here into Terra Poison to avoid taking too much damage from the Pal. I think this should probably be Ice move into the Ting-Lu, but we'll see. The Thundurus can't do much damage to me, which is good. Oh, they went for the crash into the Murkrow, which I'm happy about. Okay. Oh, they just threw off the Wall Bolt Storm. Okay. That's the problem, as I said before, with having the Terra, the Ting-Lu. I do get the Lash Out off, though, which is nice, into the Qianpao. Okay. Ah, this is not fun now. This is not fun. I think I'm just going to protect Vulcan. I'm just going to Lash Out the Thundurus. I do need damage in the Thundurus. I can see Pal Protect because it doesn't want to take a Flamethrower. It looks like they stayed in attack, though. Is this Crash again? Okay, I do like the... Oh, Bulk. Interesting. Go for Wall Bolt Storm again, which is cool. All right. Nice. Big Lash Out into Thundurus with the Sword of Ruin plus the Choice Band, a good amount of damage. Awesome. Just going to go for attacks. Did they protect this turn? I would have liked KOing the Pal, but I guess beggars can't be choosers. A Thunder Wave to Volk. Oh boy, we're going to play some fun stuff here, aren't we? Let's go Crash into Ting-Lu. All right. Flamethrower does come off into Qianpao, which is great. So I get rid of Qianpao. Awesome. You got to watch out because the Zama's still annoying. Wow, we didn't get Paraflinch. I was like, I didn't want to jinx it, which is why I didn't want to say it, but we do get rid of Thundurus. That's a pretty nice position. Okay. That is pretty solid. Although, what's your back? It's Zamazenta +1, right? Latios, that makes sense. Okay. Actually, this position is pretty nice, I'd say. Because I can just go for a... Well, assuming I get my attacks off, I Rage Powder plus I Lash Out the Latios because the Zamazenta can't knock out my Volk. I guess I'd be scared of if Latios is faster than the Zama, which I guess is possible. Well, that's one Pokemon getting an attack or a move off this turn. Why you substitute? Oh my goodness. Also, they didn't Terra, which is super greedy with the Latios. Okay. No! Come on, man. Oh, that's so bad. Okay, it's playable, but that was really bad. Oh, come on. Like, that plays a throw. Like, that plays literally a throw. Come on, man. I mean, I did get lucky on the Crash turn, but it's like, come on. If they give me the game like that, like... They protected the Zama? The Luster Purge? Okay, they Luster Purge to Volk, which is fine. Okay. I'm going out into Ray here. Oh, this is gonna be so sus. I actually wish I had foul play on the Murkrow so I could actually hit the Lottie if it Terras. This is so scuffed of a position now. I'm trying to think if there's any way to come back. You just Terra the Latios, right? I would always Terra Steel the Latios here. They usually are Terra Steel. I don't have a way to break through the Terra Steel. That's why it's like why I tried to get damage earlier. Oh, I guess I Tailwind and I go for Draco. Yeah, they're gonna Terra. Oh, that's so frustrating. Wait, it's Fairy? I could have just Dragon Scented. Oh, I should have just Dragon Scented, man. Although this might not be over depending on what they do. Like a Meteor fails. Or if they miss Draco, which would help. Body press to Murkrow, which makes sense. Yes. Oh, they target a Murkrow. Wait, hold on. Maybe I have an out. Maybe I have an out. All right, bring out the Ting-Lu. Just gonna Dragon Scent the lot. Like, why did they just Terra earlier with the Latios? Why did they stay in and not Terra when I had the Lash Out prepared? I guess they were scared of Ursh? Back? I don't know. We're gonna go for a Earthquake and a Dragon Scent. No protects. Is this KO? Probably not. Although Latios isn't the bulkiest Pokemon, so we do actually get the KO on Latios. Okay. Latios goes down. I feel like I just don't have enough turns though. I think I need to Dragon Scent earlier to Latios. They bashed Ting-Lu. Yeah, I can't win. Why, Ting-Lu? Why'd you have to get paralyzed that turn? I would have rather you got paralyzed against a Fundy earlier. Because the Fundy was in range of extreme speed from the Ray, so it wasn't like the worst turn if you got paralyzed there. But I guess I should have just always Dragon Scented. Yeah, I can't beat Zamazenta. What would be the win con? It's like they have to not protect with the Zama at all. Maybe they don't have protect at all. I crit the second Dragon Scent, and even then I don't think it knocks out Zama. Because 2 bashes are definitely KOing the Ray at -1, and now we're at -2, so if we didn't go down before, we surely have went down. Yeah, now we go for it again. Wait, I think they actually might not have protect. I think if we crit, we actually would have been in the game. Okay. So I guess with substitute, like Zamazenta, I'm assuming runs wide guard most of the time. We saw bash. You have to have body press. So it probably was just no protect. So it just came down to the Latios tear. I guess I kind of thought it was always going to be Terra Steel for Miraidon's Draco, Dazzling Gleam, and Walling Calyx Ice Rider. I was not expecting Fairy. Zamazenta, Xianpao, Chiyu, Fluttermane, Amoonguss, and Raging Bolt. All right. We do have Volcarona, which is pretty good here. Volcarona Ting-Lu is actually a really great combination into the team, I'd say. I do like Volcarona Tinglu a lot. It puts on so much offensive pressure against the team for the most part. What would I want in the back? Definitely Ray, because I want Dragon to send pressure into the Amoonguss. Last Pokemon, I might bring Ursh or I might bring Wellspring. Or I could bring Murkrow. I could actually see Murkrow being brought. Wellspring's nice for the Amoon, which is really tempting. I mean, really tempting. This would be nice for Haze. And Haze would be good against their team as well. Because of the Zamazenta. Oh, this is tough to decide. This is very tough to decide. Am I wanting to be weaker to Amoonguss? Or am I wanting a better Zamazenta and be better against Zamazenta with Murkrow? Or do I bring the Wellspring and be weaker to Zama? I think I'm bringing Murkrow. I think having the Tailwind is really nice to have. I think Terra-wise, I'm always Terra poisoning my Tinglu. It's kind of a weird matchup, I'm just gonna say. It's a weird matchup. We'll see how this performs. I wonder, Flutter Mane should be Speed Booster. I'm kind of curious on how fast it is. Qianpao Zamazenta, okay. Super ideal. Super ideal. Nice. All right. So I'm going to go for a Wisp into the Qianpao. And I'm going to go for a Stomping Tantrum into the Zama. In case... Well, I don't think Zama should switch, but it's just to cover. We're going to see a Terra come out from my opponent. Terra on the Qianpao and a Ghost? Stellar, okay. Oh, is this Drone Shot Body Press? Does that KO? I don't know if it does. All right, this is going to be an interesting turn because even I don't know what's going to go on here. All right, we Terra Poisoned here. Let's see, because I'm not sure. Throw Chop, yep. Is that KO with Body Press? Ooh, that did a lot. They take the Rocky Helmet though, which is nice. They Body Press. Bulk goes down. Did we get a Flame Body Burn? No Flame Body Burn. Unfortunate. The Stomping Tantrum KO because it's sort of ruined. I guess I could have protected, but I wasn't sure. All right, here comes the Stomping Tantrum into the Zama. Good damage. I don't hate this spot. Unironically, I do not hate this spot. I go out into Murkrow. I think we're just gonna go for a Tailwind and a Stomping Tantrum into the Qianpao. Because we want the damage in the Qianpao. It might take the KO on Murkrow, but that's fine. Because I think Tinglu plus Ray can clean up this endgame. Ice Spinner comes out. They damage the Tinglu? Yeah. Had a feeling. And then Stomping Tantrum. I'm faster than Zama. That's good to confirm. I don't KO Pow? Okay. That's bad. That's bad. I'm gonna Brave Bird swap into Ray. I was expecting to KO Pow. I was expecting to KO Pow with Stomping. Oh no. That's bad. Oh well, we'll go out into Ray on hopefully it's Sucker Punch coming out. Zama protects, which is super ideal, and I don't think Pow protected. So this should be Sucker. Nice. Okay. Good. It's what we wanted. We get a Brave Bird KO into the Qianpao. All right. We have tools. We have tools. We have turns of Tailwind. We're not looking too bad. The start was not great, but it's playable. Is this Raging Bolt? Oh, a Amoonguss comes in. Interesting. All right, we're gonna Haze and we're gonna Dragon's Ascent the Amoonguss. The reason we Haze is to get rid of the defense boost on the Zamazenta. And if they rage power, this is perfect. So let's get rid of the defense boost so body press is doing less damage. I know we don't get rid of our Dragon's Ascent drops, but this is still really ideal. I wonder if Murkrow can KO the Zamazenta with Brave Bird now. Alright, goodbye Amoonguss. Rocky Helmet's fine. Alright, this is body press into Murkrow. Yep. And look at that haze. That haze was so beautiful, baby. That haze was exactly what I needed. Flutter Mane coming in. Booster energy is confirmed. It comes down to the Flutter set. I think as long as there's no double protect, I think we're fine though. I think we quash and I think we Dragon's Ascent and KO the Flutter. There's no way I think Flutter lives max attack. Dragon's Ascent. Even if you protect here, that's okay. Actually, wait, can they knock out Murkrow with Heavy Slam? It might be a factor. Oh boy. It's not over yet. Okay, they don't KO. Tailwind Peter's out. I still go for Quash anyway. I think this just comes out of double protect, man. I think I have to Dragon's Ascent here. Because Ray does not outspeed Flutter Mane guaranteed. Yeah, no, we don't. Okay, we get the quash off. Now, assuming we KO, we win the game. Heavy Slam, no shot KOs, Ray. Yep. Here comes Dragon's Ascent. Max attack, Ray. Goodbye. Oh, thank goodness, man. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. I was not sure about this one. I was not sure. When I saw the double KO and they didn't get flamed by with the Zama, I'm like, oh, that might not be great. But yes, we're able to go for Tailwind. We're able to go for Dragon's Ascent. We guarantee to win. Volcarona really forced them a lot out of their turn. They had to commit their Focus Sash because of the Rocky Helmet, and they had to commit their Terra, which was huge for me. I mean, which the beautiful part is that they went for the damage on Tinglu, which made sense. They needed damage on Tinglu because they couldn't break through the Terra Poison Tinglu. But I was not expecting that. She and Pato lived the Brave Bird, man. And the fact that Murkrow was able to hang out was huge because getting that quash into the Flutter Mane because the Tinglu got weakened earlier. Because I could beat the Flutter Mane if Tinglu wasn't damaged, but because the Tinglu was damaged, it's still kind of tricky. But thankfully, we were able to have the Murkrow healthy, get the haze again, just to get rid of that body press power of the defense boost from the Zama. And Murkrow was able to survive attacks, which was super clutch. All right, let's go over to games. In game one, the Terra Poison Choice Band Tinglu was such a demon for my opponent because they had very little that was able to hit it. And once that Ursaluna Blood Moon went down, it was pretty much all just having to set up the Tinglu in order to win the game. In game two, I was able to chip away at my opponent's defensive pieces very well with a lot of damage across the board, and against the endgame Terapagos, which came out a bit too late. Even though it was able to set up, it wasn't able to get the knockouts, so I was able to do enough damage to set up for an Urshifu endgame. In game 3, was able to get the Terra from the Calyx Shadow Rider immediately, which was really nice, but they played their defensive pieces really well, especially that Pelipper being able to take the attacks better than I would have anticipated. However, the fact that I was still able to keep the Focus Sash on the Rayquaza was a pretty big deal, and start chipping away at my opponent's team to set up for a really good endgame because Calyx Shadow Rider was not able to sweep my team, while the Tinglu and the Ogerpon were able to do a lot and set up for an endgame Rayquaza cleanup. In game 4, this matchup I knew was going to be rough. Even though Volcarona was a pretty nice mon, I still had to worry about the Latios. What's sad was it ended up being Terra Fairy on the Latios, and there was a turn where they just allowed me to potentially just really just win the game by going for the Lash Out, assuming I wasn't going to get paralyzed. However, I guess the Tinglu was moving throughout most of the game, so I was decently lucky. However, they just let me potentially win the game there and didn't Terra to cover it. So, it could have been a win if we were able to, but or if I just Dragon Sent it, but I didn't really think it was going to be Terra Fairy. I really thought it was just going to be Terra Steel Latios. So, thunderous. Thunderous paralysis shenanigans still affecting me even in this generation. In game 5, it wasn't the best start because they were able to get rid of my Volcarona, a mon that was very good against their team. However, the fact that I was able to get rid of the Focus Sash on the Chi with the Rocky Helmet, as well as they had to commit their Stellar Terror early, I was able to actually be put into a pretty solid position because I was going to be able to get the tail up with Murkrow. I was able to chip away at the opponent's team, and endgame wise was able to do a lot utilizing the Rayquaza and the Quash Murkrow coming in super clutch to help support it. This team very strange, but Choice Band Tinglu, I'm in for it. I thought Choice Band Tinglu was absolutely great. It's able to do a lot of damage, able to punish the Miraidon especially, which is nice, and still able to take attacks. I think the combination of Tinglu Rayquaza is great. Even Tinglu Murkrow with the Tailwind plus the Vessel of Ruins helps supporting the Murkrow and the Tinglu, able to go for a lot of damage with the Earthquakes, especially if they don't have a ground resist or the Rillaboom grassy terrain. It can be very solid. And Rayquaza, super strong restricted. Of course, it does suffer from its weird speed interactions, with the speed tier not being the greatest, as well as its typing isn't amazing. However, can still put in a ton of work that we were able to see. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. If you would like to try out the team, the rental code is on the screen. Hopefully it's still available by the time the video comes out. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.